Hello everyone. This is my first recording, so let's just see how it goes. But I'm Anna. Welcome to my channel. I am currently pretending to be a professional simmer, but it was really fun building this house, and I built a lot in The Sims, so I thought it would be kind of cool to actually share it because no one sees them, and they're pretty cool. And some of the new stuff that they've got in the base game is pretty cool, like the ponds and stuff, so you'll see that later on. I added a nice wee pond. But this house is pretty cool. It's loosely based on sort of an emo aesthetic, but then it's sort of morphed into something sort of kind of like dark, but like still something you'd want to live in, you know. I didn't want to make it just like awful, and I changed those windows, but anyway, yeah, I didn't want to make it just something that's like kind of awful and yucky and dark. I mean, it's pretty dark, but you know what I mean, like not gross. But anyway, yeah, so that's a little intro into the house. But then I just thought I would introduce myself to some people that probably don't know who I am. So yeah, as I said, I'm Anna. I have been just hanging out, living the dream, you know how it is. From New Zealand, living in a big old city. But yeah, it's been fun. I have recently moved. Well, recently, 6 months ago, moved pretty much to the day. It's been fun. It's been an adventure, and I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that. And yeah, I'm just sort of exploring a few more creative things and just letting myself actually try and be creative. So yeah, because oh boy, there's a lot to talk about that I can share, like funny stories and just my existence. Yeah, it's great. But you know, I have studied two different things, one of which I have a degree in, so I have a performing arts degree, so that's kind of cool. Lots of stories there. I don't really know like what I want to say about that because it was kind of a while ago, and I know that everyone that went there is probably quite different now, and I'm also very different, so you know, but yeah, there's definitely some wild stories to tell about my time there. And you know, I've lived in quite a few flats over the last few years, so there's a lot to share about that. Oh my god, a lot to share. Yeah, oh god, it like brings up some memories. Oh, that was just the cord of the headphones that I'm currently using. Anyway, yeah, so I've lived in quite a few different houses, just experienced a lot of different people, as we all have. But yeah, the last 6 months have been probably the biggest change in my life, I think, like completely moving where I'm living. Drove my car all the way up here. You know, it's been an adventure, and you're probably wondering, well, Anna, why did you move all that way? Well, I live with my wonderful boyfriend, Daniel, who collabed on the last build. See, I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Like, we built it together and then I uploaded it to my YouTube channel, so I suppose it counts as a collab. But anyway, yeah, so we're living together, so that's cool. We've been together since kind of like the start of October last year. Yeah, so you know, we moved in together reasonably quickly, but you know, who really cares, right? We don't care. We're not like regretting it now, so if anyone has a problem with that, okay, see you later. Bye-bye. But yeah, it's going really well. How many times can I say that? Going really well. sound like I'm trying to convince myself, but it's actually going very well, and we're having a lot of fun. So yeah, we've been back to visit our old location quite a few times. We've got some wonderful friends there from high school, and family and pets and such. Yeah, so I'm an only child. I just love attention, clearly. Yeah, not gonna lie, but who doesn't? Honestly, who doesn't? But what I was going to say with that was that I have 2 pets currently. I had another pet, but she sadly passed away earlier this year, so that was quite sad because I was not able to see her. So yeah, but it's sort of, that's just life, right? But yeah, my mum and dad live in Christchurch with my cat and my dog. So my dog's called Fern. She's a golden lab. She's gorgeous. She had some wonderful health adventures this year. So I don't know who knows much about dogs that's listening, but it seems to be with these kinds of dogs, they have really bad, I think it's knees, or just legs, because like they're big chonky dogs and they've got little legs, and so it's quite easy for them to injure themselves. So she tore her cruciate ligament, and she'd actually done it about 4 years ago on the other leg, and it's like real expensive, and she had to get this surgery to like put in this weird little, oh my god, it's so weird, it's like this little contraption into her leg that sort of acts like a new ligament, but yeah, so she had that 4 years ago and it was all good, and then this time when she had it like, I don't know, something happened and her body was like, no thanks, we don't want this in here, so we're just going to reject that. So she had to get it taken out again, poor doggo, but it had kind of healed a little bit. So she's able to like walk and stuff. She's a little bit stiff, but like, who isn't? Am I right, ladies? Anyway, so she's all good. And then we've got my other cat, Maddie. I say we because like, they're still your cats even when you move out. So we've got Maddie. She's a little fluffy. I don't know. I think she's like part raccoon, part mountain lion. I don't know. She's just like just a fluffy thing. She's very cute. She's very, very talkative. Sometimes if I'm like on the phone to my parents, I can just like hear her meowing in the background, and it's just wonderful. She's like, give me attention, and she's probably loving it. Like she gets all the attention. So yeah, so she's good. She hasn't really had any major health problems that I can think of, touch wood. But yeah, she's like reasonably old. She's doing well, living the dream. And then yeah, we had my wee cat Missy. She was about 17 and she'd had a few health problems over the years, but she had a really good life, and that's all you can ask for, with people as well. You just hope that even if it ends poorly, or it just ends, well, it always ends sadly, but like, yeah, you just hope that they have a good time while they're existing. So, and she definitely did, so that's cool. So yeah, no, she's lovely little tabby thing. Yeah, so that's my family. Yeah, Daniel's family's in Christchurch too. Don't really feel like I'm going to share about his family. But yeah, they're all awesome. So that's cool. And yeah, so what else can I talk about? Well, I guess I should talk more about my creative endeavors. So clearly this is one of them. I've always been really into building in The Sims and stuff. Definitely in The Sims 4, I spend a lot more time actually building than playing with The Sims. I love making Sims and characters. But yeah, I find building in The Sims like just the best part, and it's been awesome because there's a lot of other Sims YouTubers that are really inspiring to me, and I think I just thought, why don't I just give it a go and make a channel. So that's sort of my first creative endeavor. And then the other big thing that I've been working on for like so freaking long, I'm actually writing a book, and I don't really talk about it much with people in real life. I've told a few friends, but I feel like some people, society, man. I feel like when people are like, what do you do? They want to hear like, how do you earn money? And it's like, well, shouldn't it be what makes you happy? Like, what are you doing at the moment that makes you happy? And obviously money is important. But right now I'm spending a lot of time doing things that don't earn money. But overall, the last 6 months and more recently, I've been like the happiest I have in ages. And it's just because I'm like doing things that are making me really happy, because like writing is something that's always made me really happy, because I love creating characters and sharing their stories and just going into that world. I think it's really fun. And yeah, it's been a very difficult process, because it's the first time I've actually followed through on trying to actually finish a book. I've written, I remember in about year 12 or 13, I wrote quite a bit of a book. I hand wrote it because I didn't have a laptop at that point. I think I've still got it somewhere, but yeah, this is the first time I've actually like sat down and consistently had this project going. And I've written, I think I'm at about 41,000 words, which is great. I'm currently editing my first draft, so there's quite it's a big job, but it's good. I was gonna try and get it done by the end of July, the editing of the first draft, but that's not going to happen, but that's okay. I don't want to be too hard on myself, because I'm just really proud of myself that I'm actually, like, as I said, I'm following through on it, and it's really cool. I don't like that picture on that wall. Anyway, I think I change it. I really hope, yeah, okay, thank you. Good. I got the tragic clown in there. As you can see, I should probably talk a little bit more about the build. As you can see, it is quite dark, but as I said, it's still like, you feel like you could live there without it just feeling really, like, it's not everything is black. In the kitchen I started and everything was quite black, and I think that's fine for a kitchen. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, in the bedrooms, and especially upstairs in the children's rooms and the teen room, there's definitely a lot more color, but it's emo. But yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I like the emo style of interior design, whatever emo is. I think I just mean like, I like the darker aesthetic. But I wouldn't necessarily want it in my house, because I like things that are kind of like, just look a bit cleaner and crisper, and darker colours always feel quite heavy and cluttered to me. So that's why there's not a whole lot of furniture in this room, because if it's dark, you don't want it to have heaps of stuff in it, because it sort of weighs it down. I think I end up putting one light in here because I don't want it to be too bright. It's still got to be a little bit emo, Yeah, so I appreciate the style, and that's why I built in this sort of style, but I don't think I'd like that. I think I like a little bit more modern as well. I was gonna make it a very, very ultra modern, clean, crisp kind of house, but once I got into it, I sort of thought, oh no, I think a true emo would love just a little bit of variety. Anyway, who still listens to emo music? Yeah, me. I love the old emo music, like Pierce the Veil, those kinds of bands. I listen to a lot of rock music these days. One of my all-time favourite bands is System of a Down. I think they've been my favourite band since about 2016, probably. But yeah, I also like the slightly newer, I say, but like, like 2012, 13 kind of bands like Perseveil and stuff like that. Those really get me going. Like if I'm having a shit day, I'm just like, emo music time. And while it's like normally quite depressing music, it's like, it's actually really uplifting. If you've listened to them, you know what I mean. Like the content of the song is always content, I don't know, of the songs is always quite depressing, but like the songs are just like bangers. So yeah. What else do I listen to? I don't know, just like when I first moved to Auckland, my taste in music completely changed. Like when I was in Christchurch, I listened to quite a bit of drum and bass and stuff. Not that I'm like, drum and bass is life, but you know, just it's good when you're driving and stuff. And but when I moved to Auckland, I didn't really listen to any of that, and it was quite interesting. I've sort of started listening to a little bit of it again now, but yeah, I don't know, new location, new me. So yeah, but I'm kind of like just all settled in and just not back to my old ways, but just like I've found my feet a little bit more and feeling a lot more settled, as I said. So yeah, it's all good, loving it. So yeah, you're probably thinking, okay, so this gal is sitting here playing Sims all day, writing some words. What is she doing for money? Well, I am currently working at a little shop, which is very cool. It's sort of a whole, I don't know what you'd say. It's very unique. It's got a lot of very expensive stuff, but just really kind of, it's a very creative space. Clothes, homewares, that sort of stuff. And I'm lucky enough to have worked in the same shop when I was down in the South Island. So yeah, it's like the sister store of that store, and that's been really cool. Not working full time there because, as I said, that's just not my vibe. Not the vibe, you know. But I was also lots of stories about the next thing I'm going to share. But I was also working for an early childhood company for a little while, but I've recently just decided that is not for me. So that's the other thing that I studied. So last year I studied for a postgraduate diploma in early childhood. That's a lot of words, but because I already had my performing arts degree, it meant that I could get qualified for early childhood without having to do the degree. So it was 1 year instead of 3 years. So I was like, yeah, sick, I'll do that. Didn't go so well, but I still thought let's give it a try. Let's see how, because last year was shit, and like I know everyone says that. Every YouTube video I'm like, 2020 was just so rough for me, and I'm not trying to say that, like it was rough for everyone, but there were some things that happened in my family that were really sad, you know, like we lost some family members, so it was definitely pretty rough, and it definitely took a toll on my study, but yeah, that's why I think I was determined to give it another shot, just to see like if it really was just a bad year and I was not in the right mindset, or whether it was something that I really wanted to do. And I love kids and they're lots of fun, but I don't think it's something that I can do. I just and it may not be like that forever, but just right now I think because of my priorities and my creative things that I'm working on, working in a job like that that's just really stressful and loud and busy, fellow introverts will understand, you know, like it really takes it out of you, and it definitely was just like killing me. So yeah, I've sort of like stepped back from that. I was only working like when I wanted to as well. So, you know, but the more I thought about like, because it was a relieving job, so I got to pick when I actually wanted to work. Like there was an app and everything, and I could sort of choose what I wanted to do. I could see who needed a reliever for the next day or the next week and just like sign up. But the more that I was accepting jobs and going and just not enjoying it, the less I started accepting future jobs. And yeah, there was, I think the final straw was the last week, where it was just like 2 really rough days in a row at 2 different centres, and like, oh yeah, there were, yeah, oh, it was just not great. Like there were kids that had little plastic guns, and I said to them, oh, perhaps not a great idea to be playing with plastic guns. No, it's not like actual guns, but then made them out of blocks. And I was like, perhaps we'll just put those down and play with something else. Like, let's go play with the cars or like the dolls, you know, just find something fun. And they were like, no. And I really struggle with that, because like, if it was real life, I'd be like, okay, you blah, blah, blah. You know, like I'd kind of backchat them, but you're the teacher, like, I can't be like, look here, you little shit. I have to be like, oh, okay. And it's really difficult because, like, you know, as a reliever, they don't really respect you. But then, yeah, so I said, like, let's pop them down, and they didn't, and they kept shooting me with them, and I popped them away. I just said, okay, well, I'm going to pop them up here, and you guys can find something a little bit less brutally violent to play with. And then they went and made new ones out of blocks and came back and shot me, and I just thought, that's not for me. Don't love that. Just little things like that happen all throughout the day. You know, it doesn't sound awful or like the end of the world when I say it now, but when that's happening consistently all day, like, I know they're only little, but it's like so disrespectful, and I know that you have to be there to teach them how to be respectful, but like sometimes I just don't have the patience. Everyone's always like, oh, you're so patient, and I'm like, no. In my brain, like, my brain is boiling over right now. I want to like just get my bags and leave. Like, these kids are pissing me off. But like, you know, you sort of, yeah. So that was one thing. There are a couple of other things that happen. It's just like, I struggle with people at the best of times, and yeah, I think especially because I'm trying to like do these creative things at the moment, I felt that I just didn't need the extra pressure. Also, I love this microphone. I don't know if you can hear like every noise I make with my mouth, but like it's great. Yeah, so I was doing that for a little bit, and that was yeah. Oh, these windows, I couldn't get them to line up. I was trying to like make them perfectly line up, but then they were just not working like internally. So yeah, I know a lot of people that make houses will completely do the outside, and then they just get inside and they're like, oh yeah, everything works perfectly, go me, yay me. But like, no, that did not work. Yeah, so I changed the windows from those other ones. I did quite like the style of the other ones. They were quite old-fashioned, and I think these are a little bit more modern. But they were brown, and I didn't like that. I wanted them to be black because I think that sort of just suits it a little bit more. I know there's a little bit of brown, like that bed's brown, but I think it looks nicer when the windows are all black. So this is I haven't made this family, but sort of what I was thinking was this would be the teenage daughter. So she's got like quite a nice room. The rooms up here are quite small, but that's okay. Like, you know, you don't need a big ass room. So I'm thinking she's maybe like 16 or 17. She's sort of just hanging out. Maybe she's off to uni in a few years, who knows. But oh, what happened there? Did you see that? I don't know. Yeah, so she's just sort of hanging out, and then she's got 2 other siblings. I'm thinking like a brother and, I don't know, a brother or a sister, or just a gender neutral sibling. Who knows? But the other room is the one for the youngest child is quite gender neutral, I think. So yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, so I'm sort of thinking like family of 5 maybe, 2 parents, whatever genders you want, and then like, yeah, I mean obviously this looks quite traditionally girly, but we all know that that's not the vibe these days. Like a girl could have whatever colour she wanted, a boy could have a pink room, a girl could have blue. I have never been a fan of pink, and I am a female, so I don't know why, like, but I just thought it suited it. Like black and purple is quite a nice traditionally emo colour scheme, but yeah, see, like it's pretty dark in here, but because of the purple it's sort of, oh yeah, I was going to put a cabinet in, and then I was like, no, that's got plates in it. Yeah, it felt quite crowded in here as well, so I ended up moving the bed. Yeah, I moved the bed around. That dress is quite chonky, but I thought it would be nice to have a bed, dresser, sorry. And then I just got rid of the window. I was like, you know what, I want to fit my furniture in here. Oh, and then I started getting real like excited about these, because I was like, I would love these in my room. It's like the emo version of fairy lights. Don't know why. Yeah, I changed that, don't worry. I know it looks a bit hectic, but like, yeah, I do change those. It's so funny watching your build back, because like you just remember what you're thinking at the time and you're just like, what are you doing? What are you up to? I think so that's done now. So this is the brother's room. Yeah, I've gone blue for boy. Yeah, but like whatever, doesn't matter. I've already explained that I don't really follow those traditional gender colour stereotypes. I just felt like that was what suited it. So I pictured him quite artsy, so I ended up putting an easel in there. He's got a little desk as well. But yeah, he's just like quite artistic. He's quite intelligent as well. I think his sister is quite musical, so they're reasonably artsy. I like making artsy Sims. I think that's sort of just because that's what I enjoy as well. Oh, the stairs, like if you like opened your bedroom door in the middle of the night, oh my god, if you were trying to get to the bathroom, you might have a little tumble. Anyway, can't remember if I moved that. I might need to. Anyway, that's fine. They're Sims, they don't really do that. Oh my god, it really freaked me out the first time I saw a toddler like going down the stairs, because I was like, oh my god, you know, it's not designed so that they'll like tumble down the stairs, but if it was a real child, oh my god. When I was at preschool, you would not let a real toddler or baby anywhere near stairs. You'd have to like pick them up, or you'd have to, you know, there'd be a fence across it. But these Sims toddlers, these are different kinds of babies. They are just like climbing up and down the stairs. God, crazy. Yeah. I've made quite a few families recently. I made a big old house with like 8 Sims in it. I didn't record it because it was really stressful, but I remember one night just like cracking up laughing because like I just couldn't get the shape of the middle of the house right, because I added in these like I wanted like an not a mezzanine, but I wanted to be able to see down from the top story, and it was just a mess. The layout of the house, like this bit of the house, was quite similar to that, but like just imagine it a little bit bigger and with holes in the floor. So yeah, it was so funny. Me and Daniel were just cracking up because it just looked so stupid, but I actually made it work and it was really cool. I kind of wish I'd recorded it, but it probably took like 4 hours. I think there's still certain parts of it that I'm changing, like when I go back in and play. I'm just gonna have a little sip of my tea. I'm feeling quite quenched. Quenched is when you don't need water because you've like quenched your thirst. I'm feeling parched. That was for you ASMR fans out there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is a little room for whoever. I'm thinking this person is like the youngest, so they might be like 5 or 6. Which, maybe that dress is not a great idea. In real life, if you had a dresser like that, a small child would just be like climbing on it. But that's okay. It's The Sims, so it doesn't really matter. They won't climb on it. Imagine if that was like an interaction you could have with that. Just climb, and then they just climbed on it and just fell on them. That would not be great. I also hate the interaction with the dollhouse where like just the older family members can come and destroy it. Like, oh my god, devastating. It's like this big dollhouse, and then all the older family members just like come along and just smash it. Like, I would just disown my family if they did that to me. When I was younger, I did have a small dollhouse which I absolutely loved, and I had like little Polly Pockets and Sylvanians, and a couple of littlest pet shop pets, but the main thing for me, like most girls my age, was the humble Bratz doll, of which I had about 40. So I absolutely loved playing with Bratz because of the whole storytelling element. You know, I didn't just like play with them and like think like, oh yes, they're real pretty. It was more about like, for me it was like the storytelling, like who are these characters? So they all had like really intricate backstories. Like there were love triangles, there was like, it was like an episode of Shortland Street, honestly. For those who don't know, Shortland Street is a wonderful local drama we have here in New Zealand, where all of the actors looking for permanent or consistent work in New Zealand end up. But yeah, it was just like there was a lot happening in my Bratz lives. Yeah, so it was fun though. I loved it, and there was this YouTuber, I think her name's like Isabella DeMarco or something, and I've watched her for a while, and she makes all sorts of videos, but like a few months ago she started cleaning up her Bratz dolls, and oh my gosh, I thought my collection was massive, but she's got so many. She had like 4 tubs of Bratz dolls. It was very cool. And she's just been cleaning them up, and she was like showing that they had like mold on them, and they'd kind of developed a film on them, and I was kind of worried about that. So when I went back to my parents' house where my Bratz dolls are, I had a look, and they were okay, because they're in like these little fishing boxes. Sounds so funny, but like, so these little boxes that sort of clip closed, and like the bit where you'd put all your fish in the bottom of the box is like where all my Bratz dolls are, so they're sort of just like lying there, and then the top there's like this little insert thing, and it's got little different sized compartments. That's where you put like your shoes and your clothes and your jewelry for your Bratz dolls, and like it sits in the top. So I've got 2 of those boxes, and then yeah, it clips closed, so they were pretty well protected overall. So they're doing well. Yeah, I think it would be really fun, even just for, not necessarily for other people to watch, although I did enjoy watching this other girl's videos, but I would love to kind of like share that collection, because obviously I don't really play with them anymore. What do I mean by don't really? I haven't played with them in like 10 years, but like I think about when I played with them a lot, and it was like a really fun time. You know, I used to play with them with friends, and I was quite protective of them. I didn't like people playing rough with them. I'm always quite gentle with my Bratz dolls and my toys, and I guess that's just like only child things, but I just sort of spent a lot of time with them and created these characters, and it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so it'd be cool to share them. Most of them, I think I could remember their names. You know, we've got the classic ones, but then there were other ones that were double ups of some of the traditional ones. Like I think I had a couple of jades. Oh, what's happening here? I think I had a couple of jades, or oh no, who was it? Can't remember. I'd have to double check. Oh, Megan, because I liked Megan, and I think I called one of them like Roxy or something. Just so that they were sisters, I'm pretty sure. So it was kind of fun because, you know, like they make the Bratz dolls and in their different styles, and even if it's the same one, like if you've got a Chloe, like a ski resort Chloe, she always looks different from slumber party Chloe because she's just got like a different makeup or a different face, so they always look slightly different. So it's kind of cool. You could just like make siblings and things. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I played a lot of Sims as well. I remember in 2009 when The Sims 3 came out, oh my gosh, I was in the special choir, which was like, it sounds really weird, but basically what it means, it's not like special choir, it's like people always used to give me shit about that, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're in this special choir, and I was like, no, it's like it was just the name for a group of people that had to audition for this choir that was in the Christchurch Schools Music Festival. So we did the harmonies and we had our own numbers that we performed as well. So we were special, which is it makes perfect sense to me, but other people didn't really get that. But so anyway, I was in that choir and we'd rehearse like in the holidays, and I remember I just got The Sims 3 and I was just, I enjoyed my time in the choir. I'm still in a choir now, so clearly I learned a lot from back then. But I just remember being at rehearsals and just like, I could not wait to get home and play The Sims, and I just played like the rest of the night. So much fun. I think Sims 3 was a lot of fun, like in terms of gameplay and like the open world. Don't even get me started. And like creator style. Oh, don't even get me started, because it's so frustrating when you're building in Sims 4 and like you've got 3 different beds to choose from and like 4 duvet covers, and it's like, if only I could create my own one. And it's also like some of the beds, like the covers look really good, but the frame of the bed doesn't suit your room, so it's like, what am I gonna do? So you just kind of just cry and just, you know, get on with life. Make the most of what you can. Oh, I think I'm sharing the house now. So as you can see, I put a little grave area out there, which is quite cute. That's sort of just like a little, just for me personally, because I have lost 4 family members in the last couple of years. So I thought, you know, just pop that there. But yeah, this space is looking quite emo vibes. I do quite enjoy it. I think it's somewhere that I would potentially like to stay, but maybe not live all the time. As I said, I prefer maybe a little bit, I don't know, lighter. But yeah, it's quite cool. I've got the little veranda there because, you know, they don't go in the sun. Emos don't like the sun. I personally hate the sun. You won't catch me without 10 gallons of sunblock on and my hat and my gloves and my scarf and long sleeves. So perhaps that's what's inspired that little moment of the build. But I thought this little bedroom's so cute, like looking out over the pond, and the little tragic clown picture, which is very cute. There's like a little dressing room. How cool. I probably should have put a proper wardrobe in there, but that's fine. And yeah, the upstairs is really cute. I think that's nice. It's sort of like the appearance of influenced their style, obviously, of the house, because I probably built things for them and painted the walls. But I like to think that the kids had a bit of an input into that, and it's just a little library, maybe a study nook as well. You just go there to sort of hang out. A bit of an input into it. So yeah. But thanks so much for watching. The video has finished now, but I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and it was really fun recording this, and I'll see you soon. Bye everybody.